Alright. Let's check the stream health. You are now live. Cool. Let's get some copy. Paste into self-promo. Paste it here. Get some people in the chat. Anyway, for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for joining me. If you missed the live stream, we are live 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and hope to see you live on one of the streams. If you would like to be more informed on what's going on in the community, we have a Discord server. Link is in the description below. And here you can come and promote all of your work, all of your stuff. It's right here. Link is in the description for that. Okay. Just go into self-promo and promote your stuff. No one's gonna fault you for doing that. It's a necessity, basically. Promotion's very important. Okay. Got a couple people in. We'll sip on our coffee. Almost done with it, actually. We got some good mapping done. Did some lighting. Let's run around on our map. We're gonna start doing remakes of our maps. Silverlight, thanks for joining the stream. It's amazing to see you again. I'm glad that you would come to my streams. Thank you very much. So we've got the walls have been remade so that they're kind of a curvy wall fixture thing. The player can have this like one tile of transparency, or like where there's a wall above him, so you get a little bit better sense of depth in a map. You can see how the player's walking, and it's not just blocked like this. You know, he can go like this. Glad to have you. No, we're not gonna do that. Advertisements. Some of these softwares that you install are malware. Even if they do good stuff, they act like malware sometimes. I bought Vegas 14, and ever since I've been using Vegas 14, Sony Vegas, it's been bought by a different company, so now Magic's own it, and they spam me with pop-ups. Every time I load the software, they try to sell me Vegas 15 and 16. Like, why do I need all of these versions for? Like, what, don't I need one good definitive version of Vegas? You know, isn't that enough? You gotta try to sell me every version you have, like a package. $9.99. No, I don't want to spend $1,000, Magic. I know that it's a good piece of software, but you guys didn't even make that software. You guys bought it from Sony. Nils Gulbranson. Hey, I watched your tutorials for SRPG Studio when I got it, and now I'm well equipped for making my own game. Cool, I don't even have that many SRPG Studio tutorials out, maybe like 10 of them, 9 or 10 of them. I mean, you have like this general overview. We exit the dungeon, we get that. Boom. And here you need to use an item on this thing to get teleported back into it. And we've got the lighting set up. The map looks better. The treasure chests are there. We need to set up some kind of reset on the dungeon. We need to put enemies in and start getting that dungeon creation system going, as well as mapping the other So we'll do some eventing at the beginning, letting the stream get its legs on this Monday morning. How was your guys' weekend? How did your get any progress done over the weekend, or did you just kind of take it easy? Remade all the maps? Nope, just this one and the one other. We're going to be remaking all the maps. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for joining, Heartless Angel. So what we want to do here is start putting in enemies where they should go. I don't want random encounters, you know. Weekend was great. Now I can continue working on your game. Yep, do that. Do it, do it. You can do it. Starlight had a good weekend. Did an overhaul on maps and introduction. Nice. Yeah, me too, Heartless. That's why I kind of don't stream on the weekends. Gives me time to do the normie stuff, and go shopping and clean up the house, and dishes, and stay presentable, and shave, do stuff like that. Of course, I shave throughout the week too, but definitely use the weekend for that time. Okay, so over here, when we get gold, you obtained 500 gold. I'm also going to use an icon for that. I forgot what icon I used for the gold. Let's check our plugin, our core engine plugin. Gold icon 832. That's what we're using. So all of the chests that give gold, we want to kind of throw that icon in there too. Icon 832. Boom. I'm gonna get that. You go partying. You must be a little bit younger than me. I don't really do partying anymore. I did a lot of partying. I did enough partying for my whole life. In my 20s. In my teens. More in my 20s than in my teens. But I'm in my 30s now. And I don't party very much. So my party, well, you know what, I party, but my parties are different than what they were when I was in my 20s. I used to do Jaeger bombs. Just Jaeger bombs. Yeah. I used to play in a reggae band. You guys know that? I don't know how many of you know that. I used to play in a reggae band, so you can imagine what kind of things we would do, right? This is our treasure chest, and then it becomes a gold chest. First we rescue the blacksmith, but we want to put that icon 832, so we see an icon when we get our money from the chest. Just a little bit of extra stuff. How's the music? Is the music too quiet? Is it too loud? I keep thinking that the music's a little bit too loud. We knock it down a hair. Just a hair. Right there. Loxen, Path of the Stream, how's it going? How are you guys doing? How was your weekend? You guys ready to get back to work on your projects? You can do it. I know there's many reasons. And now it's gone. Well, I turned it down just a hair and this song switched. I'll put it back to where it was. It was at negative 7.9. It sounds a little dramatic. It's like we're in a boss battle or something. I'm gonna just skip it. It's too much dissonance. We need to just chill. I want something upbeat, but something very chill. Weekend was nice, spent some time with the family. That's cool. That's real cool. You gotta do that while you still can. A week ago, was maybe a little over a week ago, I had an uncle pass away, and that's, you know, I wish I would have spent more time with him. I did work with him and spend a lot of time with him. So, he was a good guy. Died too soon, so there's nothing wrong with that path of the stream. Do it while you can, you know what I'm saying? But let's get back to work here. So we're doing some eventing before we jump into all the mapping. Isn't life just one big boss battle? Roderick, thanks for joining the stream. I'm sorry to hear that, Heartless. Yeah, you gotta spend time with family, guys. Let's not get such stories started. I agree. You know, let's get this day off on a positive note. I'm very happy with the progress we made last stream, and it kind of gave me a new lease on making these maps. I'm using the first seed material icon set, or I'm sorry, tile set, and they look fantastic. The problem is you have to learn how to use the tile set. It's not like immediately clear how to make good maps. But once you start messing around and floundering a little bit and keep trying stuff, you get some decent looking curves and corners, and you know, they don't look like boxy walls, and you don't have like just squares lining the map anymore, you know. And I'm sure there's even ways to do it better than I am doing it now, but it looks a lot better. I should have made a copy paste beforehand to give you the night and day difference. The lighting on the icon, the torches, I reduced the lighting. They were 250. I changed all of them this morning to 200 to give it a little bit more darkness, because the player has a lot of light too. If we run around, you can see that the player has a pretty big circle of light around him. So it's not like you can't see what's going on. You can still see plenty of the map. But I also like to keep some things hidden. For example, if we were to go to the right and you have a branch to go up, or to, you know, the south right, the bottom right. Now the player doesn't immediately know from this point that there's a treasure chest over there. You can see a pixel or two of the corner of a treasure chest through this T-Rex lighting. But the player has to commit, I'm going to go down this way to see that the chest is there. So I've strategically placed that in this way. Oh, okay, so there's a chest there. Player can get the chest, and we just added this icon today. So now it shows the icon and then the number of coins we got. Otherwise, the player could just skip that chest and miss it, may not know. So we're strategically placing our chests on the map. So the same thing, we come up here. If the player is going to decide to go left, he'll miss he or she will miss the chest. But if they decide to go right even one step, nope, 2 steps, they will see that there's a chest there. You can get a diamond. Hiding loot. What's in it? Gold and diamonds. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff. A potion? No, we deleted all of the defaults in there. Isn't life just one big box map? You could probably throw isn't life just in so many different situations. Gate has no keyhole. There must be a switch somewhere. We go up to the switch, and I need to check the lighting. I noticed on the map here, there's a couple spots. You see this little spot? This, and this, and this. I'm gonna fix that. I didn't immediately notice that, but I know how to fix that. So we'll take this, go to this layer, put that there, and we take this corner piece and we put the corner piece there. If I zoom in, you can see more of what I'm doing. You see how there's like a little black square, like chopped out of the top? Boom, now it's there. Same thing here. Boom, now it's there. It makes it look a little bit better. You gotta find all of these. I'm sure there's more, and I'll catch them as I play test and stuff. That's why it's fun to run around on the map. So you can see before they're like that, but now we restart it, they'll be there. We already replaced those. So we can run this way. Oh, we know that there's a locked gate and it must be a switch. We found the switch, but there's a chest there. If we don't commit to go down this corridor, it's just a small corridor, but the player doesn't really know that. If they don't commit, they won't see that there's a chest there. And if they miss this chest, they'll miss the blacksmith. course, you could just come back and get them. With the blacksmith, we obtain the blacksmith, and now if we reset the dungeon, it won't be the blacksmith anymore, it'll be 1,000 coins. We worked on that event. This switch art is available on the Discord server, links in the description below, as well as RPG Maker forums. This is created by T's Jams, by T. She made this stone switch. She thought it was kind of odd that there's all of these stone caves and medieval theme type things, but there's still like a metal switch. Like there would be stone switches and more primitive switches. So she made this. She texturized and recolored some art, and it is available free to download because she's awesome like that. The switch knocked down the gate, and I changed the map here so that it looks a little bit smaller, less of a big box. And we added a teleporter. We have a treasure chest here. You can say not right now, it pushes you down. We open the chest, and we get a chest of picks, and we can use the chest of picks. Boom. 11 pickaxes. Exit the dungeon. Maybe turn the player towards the blacksmith. Let's do that. Little changes, little changes. Whatever comes to mind, we'll make that happen. So we go right here, we talk to the chest, it turns on the level 1 chest switch. If that switch is on, the 1x version of it, then this auto runs. So what we can do is turn the player. The problem with this is we don't know if the player is talking to the chest from the top, the left, the bottom, or the right. So we'll have to do a conditional branch. This is easy. Let's just address that. So if the player is talking from this side, we won't have to do anything because the player will already be facing right. If the player is beneath it, we won't have to do anything because the player has to be facing up. But if the player is on top of it, he or she will be facing down. So we need to turn the player to the right if they're facing down. And if they're facing left, we need to turn the player up. So we have two things to add to this situation. So let's go ahead and do a conditional branch at the top. And we will run a condition to see which direction the character is facing. If the player is facing down, we're going to do a move event. And turn the player right. We'll skip if cannot move, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. And that's all that needs to happen, really. We can wait 1 frame. And now on the else handler, we'll make a condition. We'll copy this entire thing, paste it in here, change the else handler actually, to say if the player is facing left, we don't need an else handler right now, because otherwise nothing happens. So if the player is facing left, we need to have them turn up. So we'll erase turn right, and we will use turn up, wait 1 frame, skip cannot move, and then all of this will auto run. So let's test it. Let's put our player on the map right here, and jump in. Where are the likes, guys? Press that like button. Yes, Heartless. You tell them. You tell them. So if the player is facing down, it appears that someone was locked inside the chest, and then the blacksmith appears and the character should turn to the right. Oh my, I'm not even going to ask how this happened. Boom! The player turns to the right. And bing, we've obtained the blacksmith. Okay, let's hit F5. Not load, but save, start. And if the player is facing left, the player should turn up to face the blacksmith. Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, the player turns up to see the blacksmith. Great suggestion. Path of the string. Keep them coming, keep them coming. All of these little things are easy to miss and skip over. That's why I like streaming with you guys. I feel like I'm in a studio full of game devs and everybody's helping make the project really, really good. Yeah, don't burn yourself out, guys. Take a break when you have to. We found a little spot right here. I suppose we could step on the stone here. We could put a little Easter egg, and if we go right here and try to talk to the stone, we can we could get something. You know what we could do is use this little, I mean, you could region restrict this to get rid of this, easy. Just put a, you know, region restriction plugin that I'm using and paint it section region 85 or whatever. To fix that, if we wanted to, we would go to region and we'd paint it 85 like that. And then we will go back to this layer, put our player right here, and then we'll test it. Boom, we can't walk up there anymore. But what if we want to use this to have a little Easter egg? Let's do that. We'll erase the region. And instead of that, what we'll do is we'll put something shiny on this tile. Watching a bunch of our old videos. That's cool. I hope you don't go back too far. I've been doing this for 3 years, and when I first started, my audio quality was not there yet. It's a constant process. Getting audio, good audio is hard to do. Prevent player from walking through a chair. You can use conditional branches, yeah, to change if the player can move up things and down things, but you could also use the tile set for that. Heartless. Can't wait for you to take a look at my game becoming a $20 Patreon today. Awesome, Michael Posada. I saw that, I got your message and I responded back. I may be able to stream on the weekend, no guarantees. I probably will eventually if you can wait a couple weeks. Or I could just stream it on a weekday if it's cool with you. I'm glad you made it, Michael. Thank you for coming to the stream. Your name is awesome. It's also my name. Drifty came a long way. I'm going to be using an image that was given to me by Royal Crown Code, an awesome individual who keeps contributing to the project and helping me with thumbnails, and just an awesome guy. And he made this pixie that's going to be used for like additional lighting. And what we're going to do is use this and have it stepping. And we're going to give this little Royal Crown Code RCC pixie. And we'll give it some Tarax lighting. We'll say light, 40, 50. And then the color we're going to use is a random color, FF01BC. I don't know what that's going to be. I want to be surprised. I could look it up, but let's see what color it is. And this is going to be a collectible throughout the game. You have to find the pixies and you get an item. So we'll have to create an item. We're going to call this you know, we collect Jinx, and she's a fairy, and so we'll have items that the player collects as just another mini collectible thing, and it's going to be, we'll just call it Pixies. Pixies. Let's find an icon for the pixie. I want to use Yanfly's icon generator at some point too. RCC, you made it! Thanks for joining the stream. That's your first ever sprite? Nice. Cool. Well, we're going to use it. We're going to make a collectible, like, mini thing for the... I don't know what it'll do. Maybe if you have enough of them at some point, you'll get something more powerful. Right now, it'll just be an arbitrary. You find all the pixies, and they're also making the map brighter. I don't know what icon to give it. I don't really have like a pixie icon. You know what we should do? We should probably make one. Let's go into Photoshop really quick. Maybe I should do it in A Sprite. I don't know. RPG Maker MV. And then we'll go into our project. In order to edit your icon set, it's in the system, IMG system. And it says iconset.png. You open this up. And I'm going to zoom in a bit, right, and scroll down to the bottom. And I've already added some extra space, but if you want to add extra space, you just add pixels to it. Your first set of live game creation, you actually had background music with lyrics in them. Did I? Yeah, I shouldn't have. Pixie Wand. Jinx smells like Teen Spirit. When she is the last survivor on the field, weapon does death attack. She already has a weapon unleash move. It basically is a very powerful attack, magic attack. Okay, so I'm going to put on some grids, go to preferences, grids, guides, grids, and slices, and set up the guides, grids, and slices to be 192 with some subdivisions 4. That might work. And then we just need to turn it on. So we go to view and we show our grid with control and the quotation. It's actually 32, so we'll have to go back to preferences and set this to, I think, 6. I don't know if that'll work actually. We'll have to change the number. Let's see what that does. Yeah, 6 works. So you have 192 divided by 6. So these are 32 by 32 in size cells. With this little grid, it helps me stay in the grid, so you don't have an icon that's got like the main icon and then like a speck of pixel on one side because they're not lined up correctly. Put on the grid and you'll be good to go. Olivia, thanks for joining the stream. Guys, Olivia is awesome. Show her some love. She makes awesome plugins. She just started and she's already doing so much for the community. We really appreciate you. Let's make a pixie something icon. Now, I suck at this, but I'm going to do it anyway because the only way to get better is to flounder around at it till you figure it out. So we're going to do some messing around. Don't ask me what I'm doing. I'm making it up as I go. That is going to be a pixie wing. I may have accidentally drew outside of the line, so what you can do to constrain your proportions is to like put a box like so right on the grid like that, and that'll make it so that you don't draw in the other box. I should have done that first, but you can always go to the eraser, set this to like 1 pixel, and erase right above. You can zoom in if you need to as well to see if you like put something outside of your grid. Go back to the eraser. I don't think I did, so it's fine. But you could really zoom in and edit your artwork like that. This is going to be our pixie wing. This is white, which is not going to be transparent. It's actually just a white color. So this should be visible, I think. Better undo this because I can't see the change. Or maybe it reads pure white as transparent. It's also on eraser, So that may be why the color's not changing. Let's lower this to a single pixel. Yeah, that makes more sense. Just going to outline this in a white outline. Careful not to change the pixels on this, which I think I have. So I will erase this. Oh my god, guys, we're artists. We're artists. Can you see it? We're artists now. Alright. There is our custom pixie wing. Now to save our progress, it looks like it's wrapped in plastic. Fantastic. We'll just pretend that's glowing. It's a glowing, you know, it's glowing, right? We're gonna give it a T-Rex lighting effect. It's a glowing wing, so don't worry about the white outline. It's just a glow. It's just a glow. Happy little glow. We'll give it a little happy glow right there too. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Almost looks like an eye, but it's not. It's a pixie wing. Hello Draconis, thanks for joining the stream. Heartless, it's good. Keep making custom icons. I don't like the default MV icon sets. The default VX Ace icon sets are okay. I like those actually. But don't use just those. Yanfly has a remake of the VX to MV resize, because in VX they use 24x24, and in MV the pixel density has increased to 32x32. We are just going to save and overwrite the icon set.png. We've added a new icon. It won't show immediately, but if we hit OK and we reopen this, we have to close our database, save the game, and then open the database again. It'll reload the icon set.png, and bada bing, we have a new icon that we just created. You've got over 500. Funny thing, I went on a add as many icons to a project as possible thing, and after about 4,000 to 5,000 icons, they start turning into black boxes. Like the game can't load the icon set.png fast enough, so don't have over, I think it was like 3,700 icons in your icon sheet. You shouldn't have that many. There's no way you should have that many, but the game will still load them up to about 3,700 something. Okay, this is a pixie wing. Did we just like rip a wing off a pixie? That's very brutal. We're not gonna say that. We're gonna say pixie. You know what? We're just gonna call this a pixie. We got a glow pixie. Yeah, a glow pixie. Glow pixie. We're gonna pretend that is the pixie, even though I was originally going with the wing. You know what? It's fine. It's a bitmap size limit. Okay, so if you export it with maybe Asprite, for some reason Asprite has low file size. So if you downsize it, I don't know the right word for it, downsample it, pixie dust. Pixie dust. Come on, that's the greatest. That's the greatest. You know, we gotta fly with pixie dust. We just gotta have happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. Think of happy thoughts. There you go. Beautiful. It is a regular item. It has no scope. It is never usable. It is not consumable. That way the player can't accidentally eat it. And it will be used for something else later. Happy thoughts, think of happy thoughts. Yeah, let's start with that. Happy thoughts, comma, think of happy thoughts. Okay, now we've got our item that we're going to be collecting. Eat the pixie wing, nom nom nom. We're giving this a light, and when the player interacts with it, we will just say, you've obtained a /item icon. I don't know what item icon we're on now. We'll just say 32. a pixie dust, exclamation mark. And then we can say so many so remaining, blah, blah, blah. But we'll also do an icon, sound effect. More coffee is needed. Yes, please, thank you. Let's put in ukulele got item. We will change items. Change items to add a pixie dust, and we need to change the text again.
I have a question.
What?
Why is it Dungeon Man's?
No. There we go. I'm gonna have to find some new music soon. My little playlist for music brought to you by ocremix.org. I do need to say that, and it is free to use and even throw ads on if it's for education or for a podcast. So music is brought to you by ocremix.org. And thank you, OC Remix. You guys are awesome, helping me avoid copyright claims that so many other things hit me with. This is on 32. We changed the pixie dust, but we also need to kind of not erase the event, because then it'll keep coming back. We'll just put a self switch. We'll control self switch A and new page. We'll do a new page. So if self switch A is on, then it's done. Right? Okay, let's get to it. Let's check it. We gotta test it. We need to test the event. Tinkerbell, anyone? There it is. It's kind of hidden because the coral has this green, but then you have this little purple pixie right there. It's sort of hidden, but it's still in your face, right? Because it's going to be glowing. You're like, what's that moving thing? You know, plus it's moving. But you're like, how do I get to it? I don't know how to get to it. You have to step on these rocks. And then what we'll do... Okay, I want this to be here, but the player... I don't want the player to step on this, or shall I make him or her able to step on that? I think the player will step here and then get it from here. So what we'll do is we'll make this the light, etc. I want to avoid making a custom switch for this to self switch. So I think the best way to do it is just make this region restriction allow. Let's see how it looks. If it looks funny, I'll just change the event. To save time, I'll make this a passable region. No, I don't like it. I don't like it because this part of the map is not made to be, this icon is not made to be that way. And you can see it's cutting the player's head, like top of the head off. Plus we need to change that event again anyway. So I'm going to erase the passage, this right here. And I'm going to just change the event. I guess it's a good exercise to show how you would do something like this. We're going to keep this event here walking with the light, but it's going to have a condition that to be on that we'll use a switch. I mean, obviously, you use a switch for everything. This is going to be Pixie 1. I guess we'll move here. Pixie Dust 01. If that switch is off, or with that, yeah, so when that switch turns on, there's no self switch needed. Is there? No. Instead of self switch, we're going to use the Pixie Dust. Pixie Dust 1 switch. Easy. It does consume a switch, but that's fine. You can use the Fly's plugin, variable self switches to change other switches. You can do a script call too to change other event self switches, but it's much easier just to use a switch, isn't it? Unless you're short on switches. We're not going to be short on switches. But we can do a script call to change another event's self switch. So that's a thing that happens. I wish the engine would be updated so when you have self switch, there's another box that lets you select an event. It will default to this event, but select which self switch you want to control from this menu. It's not going to be hard to add that button, but they don't have it. Come on, MV. I want to see that feature. So I don't have to do a script call here. Either way, it's fine. We're just going to use a switch. What's the point of switches anyway? There's plenty of them. So now when this switch is on, it will turn this off, but also this is going to not be on this event, right? All of this is going to be, this is basically just an image, a blank image. It's got the light, and then when we get this, maybe we need to erase. See, how do we get rid of the Turax lighting, though? That's another thing to think about. If we're going to do it this way, we may have a problem with lighting, because what I was going to do is put it here, and then this also has a new page. If that switch is on, then it disappears, and it will be same level as characters, not below characters, even though it's blank. So we're going to activate it like that. We need to figure out how we're going to get rid of the Turax lighting. I think I have an idea. This is Pixie Placeholder. Pixie Dust 01 Placeholder. I did have another playlist set up. Let's get this going. Okay, let me know if the music's too quiet or too loud, or you would like to hear something else. I mean, not going to guarantee that I'll switch the music because you don't like it, but I will listen to your feedback. Eat the pixie wing, or they could eat the pixie dust. F is for friends that do stuff together. U is for you and me. Make it a little bell. I like the customized artwork I made for it. It's dumb, but it's custom. I like it. Eric Mateus of Sound Image has a ton of great royalty-free tracks if you're looking for more songs. I can't recommend him enough. Awesome. That's awesome. Eric Mateus of Sound Image. I don't know if you're allowed to put links in the... I have some sort of mod that stops links, but you can Discord me a link. Put a link to that, Michael Posada, in Discord. Put it in, there's a special channel just for music-related stuff. You go to Theme 6 Music, and people post music that they like. It would be really cool if you could post that link to that sound image right there. Yeah. Alright, so we need to test it, right? We did a thing, we need to test it. Just place the pixie one tile down. Yeah, I could do that, but I wanted it to be like the pixie is kind of standing at the top of it. Do you see where like this is the pinnacle of the little thingy? I'm making it more difficult than it has to be, obviously. The lighting is still there, but we can get rid of that with the controller event, maybe. No, that's an auto run. I could do a conditional parallel that says if Pixie Dust 1 is on, then you're going to erase event. We could also move the event off the map, but it's a light, so I don't want it to radiate from something. Or we can set the transparency, but it's because it's the Turax lighting, it'll be a problem. Because it'll be transparent like it is, and then it still glows. So let's do, not erase event. If that is on, what we'll do is, you know what? Let's try to do that, actually. Let's see if we can do an erase event on it. When it goes to here, but it'll come back. That's why I wanted to make a parallel. a conditional parallel. But we could turn this into a conditional parallel. If that switch is on, parallel, erase event on something else. Is it possible to issue an erase event on another event from one event? I'm making this way harder than it needs to be because I like to test what I'm capable of sometimes. Are you planning on implementing any puzzles into your game, whether in the dungeon or otherwise? Yeah, definitely. I don't like huge puzzle games, but I like the puzzle aspect. Throwing in some puzzles is only going to add a little bit if they're not overly complicated or just frustrating. I don't want them to be frustrating. I want them to be, oh, that's neat. It took me like 30 seconds to figure it out, you know, even though it'll take a long time to make it. So I'm going to do some research real quick. I mean, this is the process we'd go through anyway, right? We are definitely not always going to know the way to do something. Matter of fact, it doesn't even matter what you know how to do. What's important is your ability to find an answer to a problem, more than what you already know how to do. So I'm going to look up, I'll just bring this over here. I'm looking at this Google Docs, and I can copy paste this in the chat for you guys. Many of you already have this probably bookmarked, but if you don't, you should bookmark it. Did I miss something? I'm getting yelled at here. Drafty! Place the pixie one tile down. If I'm unable to do this the way I'm trying to do it, then I'll just move the pixie down. That's fine. But that's an easy way out right now. Neither did the item name earlier. Yes, you're right. It showed a blank one. So let's fix that, because that's easy fix. We'll do that. To completely turn off the script, use light deactivate. To turn it on again, use the command light activate. Oh, it's a plugin command in Terax. I don't have to erase the event. I could use a plugin command. Terax, Heartless. You saved the day. You found a solution so that I don't have to figure this out. But I still want to kind of look at it real quick. Map.erase event, this.event. So what I could do is type this script call. I'm going to do it your way, Heartless, because that's the better way to do this. But I'm just, you know, I want to try this real quick. So we're going to do this, game map. Bring this back over here. I want to do a script call and erase an event from a parallel process. I'm going to delete this probably, but I want to see if it works, if there's any impact. So we have our light. We're going to deactivate it. We're going to deactivate it. But if I were to make a parallel that checks only when this thing is on, and then it does a script call, and it does $game map.erase event this dot underscore event ID. That's going to be the same as erasing this event. But before that, I want it to, it'll take a variable probably. So what if I just give it a number? What if I just give it a number here? What if I put the number of that event in here, right? So let's look at the number of this event. It is event ID 41. So we go to here, and inside this, we're going to say 41. Erase 41. And then erase this event, so it doesn't keep running a parallel. This is called testing stuff controller. So this is going to erase that event and then itself, right? That's what it should do. A little out. I think it should do 2 in 1 script call, right? Yeah. So let's try this. From the get-go, the switch is off, so this parallel will not fire, and that thing should be there. Let me go back to the chat. We're going to, okay, before I forget, right, let's go ahead and go into this and change this to 30, not 32. So we're showing item for the icon, or icon for the item 32, which does not exist, but we'll change that so that we fix that. Thank you for catching that, chat. I also noticed that, but I'm glad you guys caught it. You guys are slick today. Go here. You obtained a pixie dust. Hey, look at that custom. Beautiful icon. It's so bad. It's fine though. And the light is still there. Okay, so that didn't work. This parallel process firing thing, it didn't work. It may have gotten rid of the event, but the light stays there. Right? This is turning on the pixie dust. And if this is on, this goes here. It still shows the light there. And this is, if that pixie dust thing's on, it erases that and that. So that doesn't seem to be working. Okay, well I wanted to test that. You know, I really wanted to test that. So now that we have tested that, we're going to use a Tarax lighting control plugin command and to deactivate a light. Scroll down and find where it says deactivate. I could also look in the chat again because Heartless Angel gave us the answer, right? This is where we would go to find the answer, right? The plugin command will also trigger Self Switch D on the targeted lights. To turn off the light, use plugin command light off 1. But we also have to look at, would it be 41, light off 41? Because of the ID number. So on this page, or at the end of this event, we'll go here and say new plugin command light off 41. Would it be 41 event ID? Let's find out. So we're doing a plugin command light off 41. I'm assuming the number is event ID, so we'll test that. Pixie dust, and the purple light is still there. So let's get deeper into the Tarax lighting. We may have to turn Self Switch D as well. That might be it. To turn on and off a light source in the game, give the light source the normal definition light, and add an extra number. You have to okay, so you give it a number. Right, okay. So I'm going to give it the number of its own event. So I'm going to say this is light 50 with that color 41. So we're identifying this light as 41. And then when we do this thing, it calls out light 41 and turns it off, right? Let's see if that works. We just needed to identify the light number. So we have now there's no light at all. There's automatically no light at all. Why is that firing? Why does that fire automatically? Do we have to have something turn it on? How do we make it on by default? The plugin command will also trigger Self Switch D on the targeted lights. To turn off the light, use this plugin. You can reset the switches each map. Kill Self Switch defined in the parameters. Not sure. I'm gonna try something and do it again. Then it shouldn't actually switch off because nothing's turning Self Switch D, is it? There's no light there. The pixie dust. Yeah, nothing triggered self switch D, nothing even changed. Excuse me. Yikes. Okay. Tarax lighting is throwing us for a little loop. Because as soon as maybe we have to just turn it on, because we've given it an ID. We're saying this is now 41, right? So maybe we need something to turn it on before it gets turned off. Let's just, in our auto run event that sets the tint, which doesn't need to be there, but we're keeping it anyway. Let's do a plugin command that says light on, I wonder if it's case cap sensitive. Light on 41. From the beginning, we're going to turn light on 41. That is also going to run every time though. Let's do a condition. Conditional branch inside of this. If the switch pixie dust 01 is off, then turn light 41 on. Otherwise it'll do nothing. And it's off from the beginning, so it should turn it on this time. Okay, so we had to turn it on. Now the light is on. You can see that the coral is green, but this little purple pixie dust light is on. If we interact with it, we get the pixie dust. The pixie disappears, and the light is bye-bye. We did it, guys and gals. Thank you so much. We figured that out. We did the thing. Fantastic, fantastic. Did Natural Explorers become a stream thing now? Yes. We're going to be streaming it Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon is what we're going to be doing. Got some voices going on here. We got to mute that. Anyway, I have to use the facilities. I'm going to click this play add button. I'll be right back. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that, all of you who endured. Please don't, Fluffy Crier. Drifty Man, mute the mic before you go. Okay. Isn't it better though if you can hear the toilet flush? So you know? So you know what's happening, you can follow along. Let's check it in our inventory. We have the pixie dust. Happy thoughts. Think of happy thoughts. Cannot use it. No, can't do that. Hey, baby. How's it going? Okay, I need to mention, shout out Ren Phoenix, because yesterday or the day before, he bought me the Elemental DLC. Thank you for that. You did not have to do that. I told you you don't have to do that. I said, I'll pick it up when it goes on sale, but you insisted. Thank you, Ren Phoenix. I appreciate that. Also, Ren sent me a project with maps. We're going to look at them real quick. He's like, you know, they're very, very beginner, nothing special. Don't get, you know, super fancy. And he wasn't even like, use them. He's just like, if you want to, you can use them. So let's look at Ren's maps real quick. He's got, these are using the default, not the elemental tile set, but he also bought me some DLC. This is a blue key cave. It's interesting. I like the waterfall thing right here. It's cool. Red key cave. There's like a little pathway down here. There's some events, so I can't really like use them. I could delete the events. I'll just delete the events. Let's see. This one, it feels like it started from the sample map. You don't need to put lyrics over your cover of Secret of Mana. You really don't. Moving on, the Black Key Cave. This is an interesting one. I feel like if we change some of the bottom tiles, like the floor tiles, this is going to be a really good map. I like how you can come outside from the cave and then into like this little area. I like the detail you did here on the cracked walls. That's really cool. If this sort of process kept up through the entire map, it could have given it something additional. It feels very like just missing like detail. Lots of feels very clean is the word I'm looking for. It feels very clean. You could get rid of the red banners maybe and put more detail, and it would be fantastic. In fact, I'm going to use this map. I'm going to take this map. Let me look at this event. What does this do? Little budge. I'm going to delete all the events because look, this is part of your game. That is not like it's not in my game. So I'm going to delete all the events off this map. And this is using the default icon set, so I won't have to add any icon sets. I mean, tile sets. Excuse me. Is this just animation? This is just animation, I think, right there. So let's delete all these events. And we'll take this map, the Black Key Cave, we'll copy it. But before we paste it, let's look at the Purple Key Cave, which is very reminiscent of like the sample map, so I don't want to use that because it looks way too much like the sample map. Same thing with this. They look like they started from a sample map and just was edited. But I like this one the best, so we'll take that. And I'm going to go to here, this underworld, all these underworld, and create a new placeholder map, and we're going to call this one Ren Phoenix. This is a placeholder, just like this is. Nope. Want it right there. There we go. So you have everything in the world, and then you have specifically stuff for sent to me by Crown Royal here, and then we have stuff sent to me by Ren Phoenix, and this will be in here. So if I take other maps, they'll be credited, and everybody will see it. Water, underpasses, crevices. You're not being rude, Fluffy Crier. That's a common question, and that's what we work on all the time. We're constantly trying to make it look better. Yeah. Take care, Mushri. Yep, animate your stuff, put lots of detail on the floor, try to make it not look very samey. You can see that as I pasted this, it copied immediately because it's using default. So that's already there in the game. We'll save the project. Now we've incorporated your map, Ren Phoenix, into the game. So we can close this. I'm not going to save the changes I made to deleting all of your events. Never not be improving. Yeah. I do love me some Crown Royal. I don't drink anymore, but when I was younger, I used to drink Jaeger bombs, and I liked, what was it, Patron. I drank Patron. That was what I was into It was expensive, so I didn't have it very often, but like for Christmas, New Year's, yeah, a Trump. People would celebrate that. Okay. We have plenty of blank maps that we need to fix and update. Start at the top. Village building. This is good. Endless dungeon. This has already been sort of fixed up. Level 1 dungeon has been fixed up. I need to adjust the lighting in here again. Okay, let's change these, because I changed all of them to 200. So I'm going to be consistent. Alright, let's have a look in here. Get a feel for the map. Do we need to change anything? Yeah. Nothing wrong with asking. So if you walk right here, you can't see the treasure chest, but if you take a step over here, you can see it. That's why in caves, I'm keeping the tint completely black. But in like the forest, I'm not going to have it completely black. It'll just be very gloomy using a screen tint, but not a screen tint from the game screen tint. It'll be screen tint based off Tarak's lighting screen tint. There is a problem in this map that I need to fix. Like, okay, right here, the walls are right so that you can walk down on them. Like, this is exactly right. But over here, I didn't start doing that yet. Like, this is fine, this is fine. But right here, we should be able to walk down on that. So I'm going to have to redraw that, which is not a problem, because I figured it out last stream. The first thing you do is you overwrite it, basically. Kind of have to go like that. And then you redraw it with tile set B. And I'm going to take this one, put this here, and this one go like this. And also need to go to tile set A and get the corners drawn in like that and that. And this one for right there and right there. And right there and right there. And right there and right there and right there and right there. Look at this side. Boom, boom. Boom, bing. That one's already in. And then one for here. We're slowly chipping away at all of the rough edges of the map. And I'm sure there's more spots that I need to check and fix so that we can walk on. So we're not like blocked off by the ceiling. The ceiling shouldn't be blocking us, right? It's just a matter of perspective. Like this seems fine. Right here, we should be able to walk down on these three. Just take stock. Right here. So those three in the tip there, those three, and the top parts there, and these three. Okay, so that's it. I know what I'm doing now. Let's go ahead and select tile layer, fix those three, and here, 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 these three, and fix those. Tile set B, we're going to use this one. This is FSM tile set if you're curious. And that may have fixed it right there. Let's see. It's available on Steam. It's very nice. It's my favorite. This one tile, maybe? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I like that better. That's good. Mucho bueno. Alright, we gotta hit this map. It's looking pretty Pretty blocky default, isn't it? The torches and tracks help a lot. But we're gonna have to, I think we'll go to this one next. This is what we're gonna be jumping to. Yep. These square blocky. We need to curve these and do some work on it. Okay, level 1 dungeon, done. I like it. The mini cave for the dungeon looks really good. I love how the lighting is in this map because we're using Tarax, but we've got like a glowing coral. So you walk in and you got this like glowing coral effect. Very nice. And right here, we're not using pitch black. You can see how it's shaded gray instead of completely black. And how you make that happen is you just do a plugin command and you just put in tint set and then you put the number you want the tint to be. And that works. It's like a less color changing tinting. Gives the illusion of roundness exactly. That map needs some love. Yeah, this basement, we're gonna do that next. Because it looks really good at first, and then you start looking at, you know, like the curved edges and like how you can walk through the bottom layer of the walls, and then you see like maps I put a lot of time into, and then you can compare and you can see that, like right here, I haven't put any work into this. This is from Royal Crown Code. He's sending me rough drafts, which I thank you so much for those. They're saving me a lot of time. It makes sense to do like a default rough draft and then go in and put some time into it and make it, you know, smooth out all those corners and whatnot. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this basement now. Let's start at the top left. Just start adding some stuff to it. This is a different tile set, so I have to find all of the right ones like I did in the other one, but it should be similar, right? Should be similar. I have to decide what I'm going to be using. Took me a while to figure out the rocky cave, I think it was. Is this one the rocky cave? This one is the soil-ridden cave. The rocky cave is the one I figured out first. Yeah, wait for it to go on sale. And then when you see it on sale, pick it up for like 33% off or 50% off. Hopefully more, that'd be great. 50% off, it's definitely worth it. It's a little pricey, but it's, you know, probably the best one out right now, as far as tile sets are concerned. I don't have them all, so I can't say it is, but it's the best ones that I've used, personally. Let's look at tile set A. I'm going to use these curved walls. We'll do this. We'll use this setup. So we're going to use this spot and start straightening all the walls out. It looks funny at first because, you know, maps are they're gonna be changed, but once you finish it, it looks much better. And I think in the other one, I just deleted all the ceilings. And I was like, I hope I don't regret doing this, and I just filled in all the ceilings. And I don't regret doing it. Made it look much better. Yeah, I'll probably have to fill this entire map like that so that it matches the ground tiles better. You don't notice some of these changes, but they actually change the map around. Okay. Very serene music. That was a good track. Okay, let's fill these walls and fix this weird looking and stuff. Oops, I gotta get off the fill tool. Go back to this. There we go. Slowly and steadily making the map look more round and natural. We're going to have to change the ceiling a little bit, of course. A lot bit. Let's see if this one matches well. Whisper. And then I would imagine that right here is top layer. And for bottom layer, I'm going to use A. And this will go like that. This will go like that. Yeah, I have a feeling what I'm going to have to do is paint, fill like this. Yeah, you see it looks funny now. We just made it all boxy. But that's going to make it easier for me to edit. So if I zoom out, it's going to be like, whoa, what happened, right? But this is sort of what you need to do, is give a blank slate and then fill it in. She's in my ear, guys. She's whispering in my ear. She's in my ear. Mapping is one of my worst skills in MV, says Wheaton. Mine too. Water would naturally carve out a smooth cave, but humanity, activity mining, would be more square and rough. Exactly, yeah, that's true. Mapping edited stuff is my best, says Akanishi13. I have to pay others for complicated coding. Finally came into watch time. Been trying for a while now. F5, thanks for coming to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We're doing some mapping. We are using the FSM tile sets and trying to make things a little bit more curvy and decent looking. We're learning the soil-ridden caverns right now tile set. We did the rocky ones on Friday and had a nice turnout. I think learning this one will be faster than the last one because of things we've learned, obviously. We'll kind of carry over. Some of the skills that we used in the last tile set are very similar to the things we're going to be doing in this tile set because they're made by the same person. Persons, plural, probably. Replace that. Nope. Undo this. We need to go like this, and pick that as our, right? Boom, like that, and like that. Like it. We actually need to bring this down, this entire thing down. Like that. We'll fix it. But what's going to happen is the things like this can't be one in size. They can only be two in size. They look, the tile set doesn't allow for like this. It needs to be more like this. So we'll have to change the map a little bit, and we'll push stuff down, and we'll make it work as we go through it. So we can go like that, bring this across, and go like this, putting in the corners, and we want two size 2, and keep the curves. Try not to forget the little corners that are not decorated. Yeah, it's coming together much faster than I kind of initially thought it would be. But it still does take a lot of time, because you're playing a lot with the details. Enjoy your food, Heartless. Yeah, GIMP is a fantastic tool at Kanishi. Nice. Inktober stuff. What's that about? Is it like your drawing path of the stream? Your first impression videos are pretty much what's taught me what to do and what not to do. A lot of people seem to like the first impressions. And I keep doing them because, you know, I like to see what people are working on. And of course, people also pay me to do it, so that's always a bonus, right? But it started off, and I still do it because I like to see what people are up to and what they're working on and the techniques they're using and what they do wrong. Is watching a bad project being played is almost and sometimes even more educational than watching a well-developed project being done, because you get to see like problems and what not to do is very good information. I think this goes, we can put this out here, and then this can go like this. No, I don't like that. This wall's gonna get knocked. Hold on, I think I got to use tile set A for this. Yeah. Right there. Rock ballad. And we can move this entire thing down. And this can go like that. Put in these two on the corners, on the edge. This could be like that. There we go. Figured it out. Something's funny about this. It's like I'm missing or using the wrong tile set somewhere. I like how they give us this. This is interesting right here. This sort of thing. What is this for? The top part of something like. More likely, better use it like that. No, it needs to be like this, and then you draw this over the top of it, like so. Oh, it's a tunnel. It's a tunnel. So if we go like this, maybe we can make this into a tunnel here. This also needs to be cleared. Sorry, Crown Royal, I'm totally changing your map a lot, which is, I mean, I'm sure you kind of expected that. And then I do Ganfly's region restriction, right? I need to put the player right here and see how this plays out. If it lets me walk, lets me walk underneath it. If it does, then I don't have to region restriction it. Doesn't. But if I region restriction it, maybe it's because there's the ground tile underneath it. I gotta redraw it. No, not like that, like this. Like so. Right? So it's like a path. And then above that path, you put this thing. Like that. Will this let me walk underneath it? Yeah, look at that, guys. There's a path there. It's fantastic. I'm gonna use it. Of course, I gotta decorate around it. That's fine. So Inktober is basically an art challenge where you get a prompt for every day of October, and you have to complete the drawing in ink and ink-based colors. That's cool. It's awesome. Post some of your work in the Discord. Would love to see what you're working on. Go to Art Museum or self-promo or what I'm working on. Look at this. This is cool. Nice job, Nibbler. That deserves a broccoli. And 50 likes. You can get 50 likes with 1 like. Yeah, it does add depth. That's sort of probably why they included it for popular demand. It looks really good. Of course, not yet, but it will. A path, you say? Says Path of the Stream. Alright. You know what? This is okay. We're going to go with that. Got to keep this curvy wall. It looks funny because we forgot to put that. There we go. That's what it was. Put this there. This down here. This in the corner. And we can delete this, 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 and this. We'll have to move the torch. That's fine. Hold on, undo that. Let's take this and bring it down here. That way I can go put this here and this here. Getting the ceiling just right is the challenge. Let's try this one. Yeah, that looks better. I'm gonna move this actually. Wall doesn't really need to be there after all. You have to delete the black tile and make it a path, otherwise you won't be able to walk there. So that's what I'm doing. We'll have to make this 2 wide. Not TOO, but 2 TWO wide. So that it looks more like that. It looks better anyway. Okay. Let's fix this little thing. That doesn't look too bad. TOO bad. MV chibis are so atrocious to look at after the 1000th time, says Path of the Stream. You know, I kind of agree with that a little bit. I do kind of wish that there were more options in this generator. We've got, you know, the chibi file size is very limited. Like, they all look the same and it gives a uniform, but it's just, I like longer sprites, you know, like a larger X value compared to Y value. 48 by 48 of squish. They don't fit a lot of games. They definitely fit an archetype JRPG, and they work. But man, I wish there was more in the character generation aspect. Maybe, if it's requested enough, when they ever release MV Ace, or whatever they're going to do for the next iteration of RPG Maker, we have more options when it comes to auto generation. I think they need to work on their map generator. They need to work on their map generator so that you have more options. Because let me go over this real quick. If I go here and do new map, and we'll just say like 75 by 75 Gen Test 01. You create a new map, you know, you can zoom out real quick. And we'll give it, we'll edit, we'll give it a tile set or something. Even we'll start with the dungeon, because this is what's basically going, the best thing it has to offer for the generation. We right click it, we say generate a dungeon. We have two options, rooms or maze. We only have two types and two options, add margins, wide passage. I would like to see this expanded on, as well as letting you select more, like let you double click in here and change the thing it's looking for, not just look at the specific point on the map. Like change this, change the thing it's targeting here, double click here, and then change the selection of that it's looking for. You know, same thing with the floors. Don't just make it so that only these, what is it, 8, 16, 24, only these 24 tiles in the specific spot are valid for the generation, right? Let us double click and say, no, use this tile. Double click right here, pick a different one. Double click, no, this spot. And then if you change it, you can maybe restore default or whatever. But this needs work. The generate dungeon needs work. It's cool. I like it. But man, it needs work. That's a terrible map, right? Terrible map. And let's do another generation. Generate dungeon. Let's say rooms with the same thing. That's a little bit better, right? But still, long, one, skinny hallways. Let's go back and generate dungeon again. Let's say add margins. That fixes that by putting, or that puts the borders around, which is good. That's a good feature. What they have added is good. Wide passages, you know, people didn't like that one skinny passage, so they added wide passages to it. That was good. That was a fantastic change. But more. I'd love to see more in the generation so people can get more maps faster and feel more confident with like, well, it's randomly generated, but hey, it looks pretty good, right? You know? And speaking of the generation, the character generators will start in this conversation. Definitely. It should be easier to add parts to the generator, and you should be able to set your sizes. I would love to see more into the auto generation of games, because not everybody is going to make custom art, even though they should. Not everybody's going to. So what's going to happen is all of the games that are made with this engine are going to be clustered together and look very samey. And if you've played one, you've played them all sort of mentality is going to permeate further than it already has on Steam and other things. So more generation options is definitely going to be a boon to the engine and sales. And that's what I'm trying to get at. I wish they would allow skinnier sprites. Let us set the X parameter, the Y parameter. Let it do an auto squish. Now, you can do this. Let me show you something you can do. Let's use a plugin. Say you wanted to make non-chibi sprites. There's a little tweak to get around using Ganfly stuff. So let's randomize a little bit. Let's make a sprite. Let's do a dude. Let's do a character here. Let's do it. Let's make one. Oh, we should have went with that dude with the glasses. Whatever. We'll generate, make a character. This is completely arbitrary, by the way. We'll go with this. We're going to just do the walk character. Actually, we'll make a character. We're going to do export the face. This is going to be Gen Talker Test Man Guy 01. We'll put him in face. Hold on, let me copy this because that's a good one. Save it. Close this. Walk character. Export this. Call it the same thing, but you know it's in a different folder. Go to damage character. Import the thing you just saved, and then put the damage one. Export that. Overriding. Watch out for the sound. Ba-dong. Okay. Closing that, and then the battler. Export this as well. But what this entire thing is going to go over is how to use a plugin to de-chibi-ize your sprites. It's not the best way, but it is a quick, easy way. We'll save the settings for this person too, just in case. Okay, cool. Now, let's get off this generation test. Let's go to the map we're working on. Actually, we'll test it on the mini cave. Somewhere. It doesn't matter. We'll start right here. We're going to make the character, the main actor, Edmund, have a different character sprite. If you see how on Edmund I'm using these brackets to change his size. If we want to have a larger X or a larger Y value than X value, that's what I meant to say, larger Y value than X value. May have said that backwards earlier. Then we want to change it to make it like stretch it out. We need to add to the Y. You'll need a plugin. Let's look at the plugin first. This is, I forgot the name of it. Ganfly's plugin. Starting at the top. Which one is it? Okay, Scale Sprites. Ganfly's Scale Sprites plugin, all you have to do is add a bracket to the end of the file. So let's go ahead and do that. You could keep your originals too. So we'll go Game, Open Folder, we'll go into the IMG, Characters, and the thing we just created was Dude Man, Man Dude. Guy tester, map, blobbity, blobbity, blobbity. So what we're going to do with this is paste, we'll copy this image and then paste it. So we have a copy of it. We'll hit F2, and at the end of it, we're going to put in brackets like this, a space and then brackets. What we want to change the X and the Y to. X comes before Y, so X goes across. We want to keep the X the same. If we do, we can go like that, 48. We'll put an X, and then we just put in the Y value. We want to put, like, say 64. Obviously it's going to be too big. So I'm going to shrink the X value to 32, and I'm going to add pixels to the Y value. So I'm going to turn this 48 by 48 box into a 32 by 64, or of a square. And we'll hit OK. We can minimize that, save our project, and then when we go to character, we can select that image, and it'll still look 48 by 48, but it scales it in game. So we just changed the way that our main character looks temporarily. Mini MC man face. So he looks very stretched out because the aspect ratio was designed to be 48 by 48. So we kind of fixed the chibi aspect, but it still looks a little chibi because he just looks like he was stretched out. Right? Let's keep the 48. You can continue to mess with this until it gets what you want. Another thing you can do is to disable the smoothing. So if we go to Scale Sprites and we change this to false or normal, it will get rid of smoothing. It may make it look a little pixelated on some, but maybe that's the thing you're going for. So you can disable that if you want. Personally, I like it like this, without the smoothing. It looks more pixel arty, doesn't it? You can see less detail, but that leaves more for your imagination, right? So I'm going to disable smoothing on this. And now we've turned our character generator into using, we've allowed our character generator to make this in the generator and get away from the super chibi sprite. Let's give more to the X and keep messing with that a little bit more to see what we can actually do with it. So let's change this 32 by 64 to say 48. We'll keep the same X, but just make the Y larger. Let's say 72. 48 by 72. We'll have to change this character because it's not going to find the thing it was looking for. There you go. Now we give it that. We'll look at it now. Take care, Path of the Stream. Thanks for stopping by. And now, it looks a little less chibi. I kind of like it. This is 72 pixels wide. It looks much better in my opinion. And you can do this for every sprite in your game. So, I might even do this. Find the right file size that works good. You'll have to pay attention to certain things like when you get to doors and how it looks with the doors. You may have to end up creating a bunch of custom doors. If you keep the X value 48, it keeps a lot of the aspect ratio fine. Like if 72 pixels isn't too big, look how his head barely fits through the door, but it does. So that's good. And this looks fine over here. So, not too bad, huh? Good little plugin. Demos Overkill, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Project's looking good. Dig the lights and mapping. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's very slow and painstaking, but I think it's worth the investment. The time is a good learning experience for myself and many others. And we got our little collectible system started today, where we collect pixies. Obtain a pixie dust. The light goes away as it's supposed to. We learned a little bit about T-Rex lighting. Got a new item created. We made an item and we've updated our icon set to create an icon there. Keep that, and we're going to disable smoothing and stretch to 72. I'm actually going to try one more. I'm going to try 80. I'm going to stretch it to 80. Maybe 84. Maybe 96. But 96 is probably too big. Probably way too big. Let's stretch this out a little bit farther. 48 by 80. And we'll hit save on the project, and we'll jump back in. Oh no, it'll crash. It'll say can't find the file it's looking for. So let's go here and say, use this one, 48 by 80. The stream hiccups? Oh, I hope not. Stream resumed. The stream. So yeah, hopefully that wasn't too long. 80 kind of feels a little stretched out, doesn't it? Starting to feel a little, 72 may be a sweet spot. 80 feels a little bit big to me, it looks funky. How long was it offline? Like a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes? I don't think it was 5 minutes because you guys were interacting. Was it like 30 seconds? 80 feels stretched out. I think we're going to go with 48 by 72. And I'm going to systematically go through and make all of the sprites that size. 20 seconds. Okay. See, now you can skip this fight. That's okay. I still have to get to work on this map. So we found out that 48 by 80 looks a little too stretched in my opinion. So I'm going to go back to the 48 by 72. That was a good test right there. What I'll do is copy Edmund and create this name, or rename to be Edmund1 48 by 72. And I'll probably start resizing all of the images that I'm going to be using, or most of them, to 48 by 72, and then we'll have a less chibi thing. Drifty, let's be honest, you should use your charm and seduce an artist to make you some custom sprites. Yeah, okay. I don't know. If I get custom artists, I don't think it would be for my charm. It'd be because I'm paying them. Let's look at Drifty now at 48 by 72. And see how that looks. Much better. It definitely adds, it kind of makes it look like it's zoomed in a bit more, but it's not, because the tile size is the same. I really do like that. That's our sweet spot. Disable smoothing and stretch the y-axis only from 48 to 72. And you de-chibi-ize. It still has the big head chibi look, art design, but it's less chibi because they're stretched out a little bit more. Any more looks a little funny. It looks like they're too stretched out. What's our proportions then if you had a different tile set size? 1.5. So you add a 50% pixel density to the y-axis, and it still looks, anything over 50% looks funny to me. But it looks okay, and it doesn't make the you don't have to redesign the door, all of the doors, for the most part. So I'm going to go through and do that too, but first I want to kind of work on the map that I was working on, which is our level 1. Nope, player house, nope. Here we go. Zoom in a little bit. Keep working on this. Going to need to probably redraw the door, which is fine. That's on C, right? D? No, it's on B. It's on B. Okay. I think so. Now, if I overwrite this with a wall underneath, will it stop me from walking on it? Maybe so. I'll have to make that as a path, just like I do the top parts of the walls. No, it works fine. Okay, cool. Let's try this one instead. That looks better. And this one? Yeah. Okay, let's fix this part now. To draw the path and then put this here and this here and then you don't need to have a walkable path for these walls, but for this part you'd want to. Avery has a tutorial for editing the default sprites floating around on the forum somewhere. There are a few of them out there, yeah. You're happy that I've figured out how to do the mapping last stream. Since then I'm on a roll and I make my maps way better. I think so too. Yeah, I'm very hesitant with mapping. But the FSM tile sets are great, so they make it easy. You just gotta put some time in and learn how to use them, as with any tile sets. I also want to add the elemental tile sets, because I haven't even got those in the game yet. So before I forget, let's go ahead and do that. I have a folder open. This is for recordings, this is MP3s, this is for the game. Let's open another one for the game, and let's find it. It would be like Steam apps, right? So we go to Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, RPG Maker, MV. Isn't it RPG Maker MV there? Or maybe it's like Katakawa or something. Would it be in Workshop? Downloads? Content? No, those are for mods and whatnot. Downloading? No. Steam Apps, Common. You want to find RPG Maker MV. There it is. And DLC. Here we go. So we find elemental dungeon tiles. Here we go. This is it. So ED is the prefix for them, and then it has a PDF file too, and some characters. Okay, so we'll take the characters DLC and we'll put them in our project. Characters to characters. Paste them on in there. This gives us waterfalls, lava falls, and water cave something. Boats. Alright. Then we take the tile sets, we copy those from the Steam folder, and we go to IMG tile sets, and we paste them in here. Now that they're in the folder, we save our project. When we go to our database, we're going to go to tile sets, and we're going to add a new tile set. We'll leave a spacer, and we'll call this elementals, or elemental, and this is, I think, a area type. Then we go for ED, and we put the A1s there, A2s, A4s, A5s, and then A5-2. Oh wait, these are alternates. You get to pick which one you want. Right? So this would be for B and C. You have A5-2, and you have A5-3. Obviously, these don't go on D and E. I'm just putting them there for so we can look at them now. Then we have to, put the stars for when we want to walk behind it. Put the X's for when we're not going to walk on it. This would kind of be walk behind as well. And this would be X. This would be walkable. These are not walkable. And after you add any tile set, you'll have to do this. What you don't want to be walkable, you put an X. What you want to be able to walk behind, you put a star. And what you don't want to be able to, or what you want to be able to walk on as passable, you leave as O, as a 0. And that's going to take some time, right? It's going to take some time. I'll do that off camera. It'll be a little bit boring to watch me do this for all of these tile sets. But for the sake of looking at these tile sets, obviously the passability is not quite right, but I want to just put them in a map real quick and zoom out and see what it looks like when we do a generation. Generate a dungeon, let's say here. You see how it doesn't, like, you can't specify where you want it to look in the map? So if you use custom tile sets, it's like maybe not looking in the right spot. You'll have to move stuff around it, and it's just so annoying. If the generate dungeon thing would let you double click and specify what part of the tile set you want it to look at, you can just put a restore defaults if you wanted to go back to this button. It would make it better. It would make it so much better. We'll say that is the floor, and then this is the walls, generate dungeon. But you know what's the best thing about this tile set? It's not the A's. The A tile sets are, it has the auto tile for that lava stuff, but it's probably to use part of them in another tile set. Because this looks really cool, it's got some good art. You could also take these out and put these in doodads. It would be a decent idea to put these in some doodads. So that's the elemental tile set, if you get the elemental DLC. I like these parts, the B. This looks, and these look really neat. That's really cool. So it has some good art inside here. But ultimately, I find it a bit lackluster in its presentation right off the bat. Like, if you compare them, I mean, I'm comparing them to like the best that I've seen. You compare them to FSM, right? First seed material. And you get stuff like this, the curves, and look at how complete it is. And you get multiple. You get so many. If you look, also what really helps is if they were to include a sample game. Did they include a sample game? The Elemental Dungeon DLC? You know, it should deploy a sample game with some maps showing what you can do with it, and having it already set up in the tile set so that, you know, these are set to not passable and this is set to passable. That would add inherent value to the makers of Elemental DLC tile set. I don't know if you're listening, but somebody linked them this part, clip it. Add a sample project to your Steam DLC. I bet your reviews will reflect that over the next coming months. Okay, we're done. That's going to do it for this stream. If you guys would like to join me tomorrow, I'm streaming 10 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday, where we work on our projects, and we'll do first impressions, and probably requested stuff. Got a lot of work to do on the project, so I'll probably be working on the project tomorrow. Thinking about looking at Kimono Q, not sure if I want to do that. Also want to do some kind of Path of Exile tutorial playlist thingy. Stream health has looked like it's green, but it was skipping, I don't know. Excuse me, Drifty won't be seducing Amy, any artist. I already did. I married her too. Bye guys, thank you for coming to the stream. We're gonna do some pluggings of my stuff now. You guys are awesome, stay awesome. If you would like to follow me on Twitter, I am at Driftwood Gaming. I also have a Twitch. I'm at Driftwood Gaming, twitch.tv/Driftwood Gaming. I won't be streaming on Twitch very often, but maybe in the future I will be. You can follow me there. Please sub to the channel if you're new here, or if you've just been watching for a while and haven't subbed yet, please hit that sub. Like this stream, like this video. I think it helps the algorithm in some method, somehow. So I would appreciate that if you let me know you guys like these live streams by giving it a thumbs up. Really appreciate that. If you would like to consider backing me on Patreon, that would be amazing of you. I'd really appreciate that. Patreon.com/driftwoodgaming. That is patreon.com/driftwoodgaming. All of your support really helps. There's several tiers there. You might want to take a look at what I offer. Video, voice support. If you would like me to play your game, I offer that as a service. Very, very cheap promotion. For $20 a month, I can stream your game and keep the hype going. Even a single month will work if you want to back me for a month and get your game first impression on the live stream. You get to see what people think of your game, get a few hundred, maybe a few thousand. Some of my first impressions have 30,000 views. So it could get like a lot of views over the next year, but you know, you'll get at least a few hundred people, maybe a couple thousand people looking at it, which is definitely worth the money in my opinion. You can get voice support, $10 a month. You want to back me. All of the stuff is there. But you have to join my Discord too. So if you want voice support, we have channels. All of these channels, you're free to use them even if you don't do RPG Maker stuff. You can go to the multiplayer chat, go in here, start chatting with people. So I've got this tech support channel, and we'll all talk with you for a little bit to go through your work on your projects. That's part of a Patreon backer. If you even back me for $1, a single month, you become a permanent Patreon backer on the Discord forever. So there's that. And that gives you access to @everybody. Please don't abuse that. And it also gives you access to the Patreon tab, where not much really happens. Everything happens on the free stuff, so you don't even have to back me on Patreon to be a part of the Discord. Links in the description below. That's going to do it for this stream. You guys are amazing. I love working with you guys so much. The feedback that I get, the tips that you guys know really helps me. I want you to know that I appreciate you coming to the stream. And you guys are awesome. That's going to do it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we get new internet soon. I think we're going to get Verizon maybe, if they allow us to. Stream seems to be pretty good. Current provider is okay, but I think it could be better. If you missed the stream, Sofa, I'm just going to call you that. Your name is, we'll get you. It should go live on YouTube about an hour from now. So you should be able to catch that stream. And then shortly after the video goes up, it also does the chat, unless it gets claimed, and then sometimes they disable the live chat. Drifty forgot to turn off the stream. Bye, guys.